Hello everyone. Okay, that's my first time being in live stream and let's see how it goes. So first one, I'm gonna actually add this to the live stream chat and then I'm gonna actually pin it. I don't know how can I pin that. Oh, pin message. Okay, great. Awesome. All right. I'm gonna actually start presentation. So what I'm gonna do here is put it here. So let's start with different types of vitamin D we have in the US market. I'm sure you're gonna be surprised with those kind of information that you're gonna hear from let me see why I cannot actually see that here. Um, okay. Is there any way that I can? So let me see live. Awesome. Okay, great. I'm trying to find a way actually to. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna do that. Great. To be able to see the chats. All right, and then let's go to the presentation mode. Sorry guys for the delay. Uh, I got confused a little bit. So the vitamin D sources we have in the market. So let's start with the synthetic vitamin D3 that is everywhere, basically. And synthetic vitamin D3 and extracted vitamin D3 from sheep's wool are the main and majority form of vitamin D3 in the market. They are highly extracted. A high processing condition is behind the vitamin D3 that start with sheep's wool, and then the lanolin should get extracted from that. And in next slide, I'm going to show you how we can easily identify that if the vitamin D that you are taking, if it's going to be from the same source, if it's going to be from the sheep's wool, or if it's synthetic or extracted, or it's whole food. And the other source of vitamin D that we have in the market is from algae. And again, these are also extracted, and the harsh processing condition is behind that to make sure that they can make that vitamin D3 and highly purified it up to 99.99%. So this is, although is vegan D3, but still is highly processed. And we do have extracted vitamin D3 from lichen as well. They are also extracted and synthetic. And if you are health conscious and holistic enthusiast and looking for a better source of vitamin D that is minimally processed and is close to the whole food, we have better options. And then the other trick that we have in the market, they call it fermented vitamin D3 from yeast. So we know that yeast doesn't have any capability of producing vitamin D3, and what they do is just they feed basically synthetic D3 to the yeast. When it's going to be part of the yeast body, they're going to actually call it fermented vitamin D3. And two main form of whole food vitamin D are actually whole food vitamin D from fish oil, like cod liver oil, and the other one is from whole mushroom. That is basically our product, which we're gonna talk about it further. Let me see if there is any comment or message here. Okay. So if you're going to go to the next, something that you have to actually consider for whole food vitamin D3 from cod liver oil is that um, cod liver oil contains vitamin A as well. Both are fat soluble, so we have to be super careful. If you're going to use cod liver oil as the main source of D3, you're going to get overdosed with vitamin A, which is fat soluble, and is going to be problematic for our body. All right. I need to pause for a second and um, I'll be back. Sorry, guys. You see everything is okay here. Awesome. Now, so as I mentioned, there are different types of different or basically quick method for identification of the type of vitamin D. So whenever you get any product and you're going to get more information about the product, one thing that you have to do is just ignore the information from the front label, flip it, and take a look at the back to see what would be the source of the vitamin D or any other types of vitamin in the supplement fact, and also to see what would be the uh, mm, basically ingredient list for that. So um, these are different possible types of actually or source of vitamin D that you can see in the supplement fact. If you see, for example, cod liver oil and cholecalciferol, this is a form of synthetic one, although they mention cod liver oil as a source of vitamin D, but still mention cholecalciferol, which is the chemical name, right? And then based on that, you can see that this is the cod liver oil plus synthetic vitamin D. Or, for example, they might say, oh, this is a cholecalciferol from fermented media. Again, as I mentioned, this is going to be mixing cholecalciferol, a synthetic version of vitamin D or extracted version of vitamin D or format of vitamin D that they feed to the most probably yeast, and then they call it fermented media. And also the other type that is going to be considered synthetic as well is that vitamin D, they mention as D3 from culture of Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is going to be similar to that source of vitamin D, again, feeding vitamin D to the yeast. And even if you see that as a cholecalciferol, it's going to be the same. They are all synthetic. So if you see cod liver oil, let's make it simple. If you see cod liver oil, this is definitely a whole food vitamin D. Or if you see whole mushroom powder or whole mushroom, is going to be definitely whole food. And what we are selling in the market and it is under 20% discount today is vitamin D from mushroom. And this is how you can see you get the information from our product. As you see, the source of vitamin D is organic agaricus bispres, whole mushroom powder. There is no additional actually chemicals, nothing in there. And also, if you take a look at other ingredient, normally and mostly, you're going to see a long list of ingredient in the other ingredient list in the vitamin D product that you might be getting now or you are using now. Take a look at them and be honest with yourself and always ask yourself that why we're gonna get a product with a long list of other ingredients that most of them are chemical and they are additives and fillers. And if you're curious more about it, uh, um, call the supplier, or sorry, call the brand that you are buying from them, the vitamin D, and ask them what's the main reason that they add these fillers, like magnesium stearate, silicon dioxide, and a wide range of chemical additives and fillers. And most probably you're going to hear from them that, oh, these are for our machine or encapsulation machine to work. And as you see, our health and well-being is going to be sacrificed easily just for the sake of machine to work. But we challenge ourselves to produce a product without any fillers and additives. And we got rejected by many contract manufacturers to produce our product because the first thing that they want to ask us was they want us to add in the formulation was that, okay, fillers and additives because the encapsulation machine needs that. We challenge ourselves to produce without additives and fillers, and we've been successful so far. This product is one of the actually best-selling product in Amazon, and is Amazon choice as well. So this is another way to see the difference between our product and the other brands. And as I mentioned, mostly what you see in the market for vitamin D is going to be synthetic or extracted vitamin D, highly processed and highly purified and refined, and as compared to the whole mushroom, basically. And also, as I mentioned, you're going to see a long list of additives, microcrystalline cellulose, magnesium stearate, silicon dioxide, all are chemicals, and then all we expose our body with them if you don't know and if you are not aware about these actually fillers and additives. That's the clear differentiating point of our product and the rest in the market. And this is the transparent and minimal process that we actually use for producing vitamin D. Let me see if there is any message here. As you see here, what we have organic mushroom, and we put it under the UV light. After growing the organic mushroom, we put it under the UV light, which is part of the sunlight, basically. Mushroom has capability of producing vitamin D like our body. So they can naturally increase their level of vitamin D, and then we dry them, we powder them, and we put them in the capsule, which is organic. So basically, it has only two ingredients. And this is a table of comparison between our product and the rest of the market. I don't want to go through that details, but is part of the product image in our website, in Amazon, everywhere. Take a look at that. If you have any question, please let me know. And basically, all the criteria that a person who is looking for vitamin D, they might consider, we put them all in this table. And you can go through and see that Eat Intact, a whole mushroom vitamin D, is the only brand that have these ticks or check marked for all of these criteria. Now we're going to actually focus on vitamin C. The same scenario that whenever you're going to buy your vitamin C, make sure that you ignore completely the actually the front label information, and then flip the bottle, take a look at the supplement fact and also other ingredient to see what's in there. And these are the different possibilities of actually or different types of or sources of vitamin C that you can see in the supplement fact for vitamin C, and is easily showing you here that which one is synthetic, which one is whole. They might actually sound complex, but when I explain to you, it's going to be really easy and immediately can be identified. So the main type of vitamin C that we have everywhere in the United States, which is unfortunate in my opinion, is ascorbic acid. So ascorbic acid is a synthetic material. Chemical structure is ascorbic acid, and also majority of them are being produced from non-GMO, GMO corn. And when you see ascorbic acid in front of the vitamin C, that's complete indicator that they are synthetic. And sometimes some of the brands are gonna do some trick on that. For example, again, vitamin C, as you see here from culture of Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Again, yeast doesn't have any capability of producing vitamin C. Whatever you see here is that they feed synthetic vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid, to the yeast. Once is part of the body, they can mention that from culture of Saccharomyces. So it's gonna be sounded like. Give me a second. I'm gonna just put it on the might that to be perceived basically as um, um, kind of fermented or whole food vitamin C. The other types of synthetic vitamin C is going to be ascorbic acid and acerola cherry. So a lot of big brands, they are aware that our customer or the consumer um, um, are smart, and they are looking for something more natural and minimally processed. And we know that acerola cherry is one of the actually good source of vitamin C, natural vitamin C. And in order to make the product a little bit um, natural, they mix ascorbic acid plus acerola cherry as a source of vitamin C. But again, as soon as you see the ascorbic acid, you know that there are still either completely or partially synthetic vitamin C in there. And the whole food source is going to be like our product that we are selling. It has a 30% discount today is acerola cherry powder. So by simply looking at the source in the supplement fact, you can get a lot of information and quick decision about the different types of different brands of vitamin C. And this is how you see exactly in the supplement fact of our product, which is under discount today. You see that it said from organic whole acerola cherry powder. And not only that, as we mentioned for vitamin D, take a look at other ingredients. Again, normally you're going to see a long list of fillers and additives. They add it to the formulation not for your health. They add it to the formulation for the sake of their encapsulation machine to work. So question your brand, challenge them that why they haven't tried why they haven't challenged themselves to make a formulation without these additives and fillers, because we or you as a customer are going to get exposed to additional chemical material. Um, Again, like for our vitamin D, this is a good schematic or good image to show that our product, the source is really whole acerola cherry without any additives and fillers, but the others are ascorbic acid, which is synthetic or extracted. And in terms of fillers and additives, we don't have any except the capsule, but you're gonna see a long list of actually additives and fillers in that um, other brand product. So be super careful whenever you're gonna buy the vitamin C. And this is again the transparent and minimal process for our vitamin C. As you see here, um, you see here that we start with organically grown acerola cherry. So, and then we freeze them. And after freezing, we try to dry the freeze acerola cherry and get rid of the water while they are frozen to just make sure that they don't get exposed to the heat. And we're gonna keep all the nutrient actually intact. And after drying, we grind it and we put it into the organic capsule. And for both cases, vitamin D and vitamin C, we keep telling our customer and everyone that you don't need to take these two vitamins anymore because you can eat it now. How? you don't need to take with the capsule, because the capsule we use capsule to just show that this is the specific amount, for example, the dosage, the 100% daily value of vitamin C and 2000 IU of vitamin D that you can get by capsule. But we can open it up, add it to your salad, a smoothie, is sour, and that mushroom is just mushroom actually taste, mushroom powder. So trying to make a food-like material for dietary supplement versus synthetic with a lot of with a lot of fillers and additives. And again, we do have a table of comparison between our product and the rest in the market. There are different names, fancy names for different types of vitamin C, but none of them actually can meet the requirement. These are the questions and criteria that the customer, smart customer these days are looking for when they are looking for actually vitamin C as well. And again, I don't want to go through that details, but if you have any question, let us know. Uh, this is okay. I'm gonna pause here to see if there is any question regarding that or not. Okay, great. Now, one of the main tricks in the dietary supplement that you can see everywhere, especially for premium dietary supplement, and I would like you to really be super careful about this and consider this fact and save it somewhere. Make sure that you don't want to get deceived by that kind of actually label. So what they do, as I mentioned, big companies are aware of the value of whole food supplement. But making whole food supplement is not gonna be easy and is not gonna be cheap. So they know that if you really deal with whole food supplement, they're gonna basically shrink their profit margin. So they don't use it, but they found some trick to add it to the label to for their product to be perceived basically as whole food, which they are not. So what they do, for example, as I mentioned, if you take a look at the supplement fact, you're going to see, for example, cholecalciferol, as we know, this is the synthetic in front of the vitamin D, so that's a good indicator, right? And then you're going to see a long list of whole fruits and vegetables. And at a glance, you're going to see that, oh, this is perfect. At least 20, 30 fruits and vegetables in the formulation. So this is the high quality product, premium product. But no one actually considered the amount that is in the formulation per serving. So 200 milligram is going to be 0.2 gram of the whole combination or blend of these fruits and vegetables. And think about it for a second. How this 0.2 gram of 30 vegetables is going to actually do anything in our body per serving. So basically, the whole point is to just sugarcoat their product with a tiny amount of dried fruit and vegetable powder, and be super careful. Don't pay additional for that kind of fake premium product because that amount is not going to do anything in your body per serving. So deal with vitamin D itself as a cholecalciferol. That is going to be much cheaper. But if you're going to go for whole food, the alternative is available. All right, let's go for omega-3. So omega-3, a lot of people are using omega-3, and this is one of the most complex actually subject or type of product, dietary supplement in the market. And there are a lot of myths regarding that. So I'm trying to go through them and make sure that if you have any question now or later, please leave us a message, or you can find us everywhere to have your question. So one of the main myths for omega-3 is that basically a lot of people, when we ask them that, are you taking any omega-3, they mostly tell us that, oh yeah, we are getting from flaxseed, from chia seed, from walnut. So there is a huge difference between short chain omega-3 fatty acid and long chain omega-3 fatty acid. So short chain omega-3 fatty acid are essential fatty acid for our body, and long chain omega-3 are also important. So the short chain fatty acid in our body is supposed to get converted to the long chain, and main part of their beneficial health impact is related to their ability to get converted to actually long chain. But the problem is that the conversion rate for EPA, DHA, which are the two of the main long chain fatty acid, are really low. So we need those long chain omega-3 fatty acid for our heart, for our brain, and also for our vision. But so the point of this slide is that the main source of long chain omega-3 are fish, krill, and microalgae, which we're going to actually discuss more. So let me see how it's going to be seen in the, okay, we can see it perfectly here. So as I mentioned, the real issue in the US market is that majority of fish oil that we have in the market, they go through the process to get rid of the impurities and contaminants, and also at the same time a lot of nutrients and vitamins are going to be actually stripped out of the oil. And then what you see, what you have initially is kind of dark oil, and after that is going to be look like this. Let's see. So as you see here, that video is showing the process of actually refining and converting the oil that looks like a darker, and then after doing refining is going to be clear and transparent. And you might perceive that oil as the highest quality of the oil because it's transparent and shiny. And unfortunately, for other source of oil from microalgae, which is going to be vegan or plant-based, basically microalgae, it is going to go through the refining as well. So it's really critical to know that. And if you're health conscious or holistic enthusiast, make sure that you're going to get some minimally processed omega-3 versus highly processed one. And the other process that is involved for most of fish oil and microalgae, unfortunately, in the US market, is that they don't stop the process for just getting rid of the impurities, which is going to remove the vitamins and a lot of naturally occurring nutrients. They actually take one step beyond that to increase the concentration of EPA, DHA. So EPA, DHA, as I mentioned, there are two main long chain fatty acid that is the main reason that you buy actually omega-3, and it's written on the supplement side, which we're going to talk about it. But some of the brands and suppliers, they do two more rounds of actually processing to increase the concentration. And that video is showing that how that process is going to be harsh and in high temperature, high vacuum, to actually increase the concentration. And then what you see is going to be transparent oil. And but I mentioned here ethyl ester and RTG. These are the terms that you can find in the label of the product, omega-3 product. If you see them, be super careful that they are highly processed. And the main reason is that they're gonna actually convert the structure to ethyl ester to make sure that they can actually increase the concentration of these two. We're gonna talk more about it. And so how we can actually identify them in the on the supplement fact. As you see here, these are the terms that you have to identify, you have to be familiar with. Ethyl ester, RTG, which is going to be re-esterified triglyceride, and condensed. These are the terms that you have to make sure you can identify them on the label. The other actually indicator are high concentration of actually EPA DHA that you see. For example, you see a 700 milligram of EPA, 500 milligram of DHA. These are the good sign that they are because in natural fish oil, you're going to see around 250 to 300 milligram, I think, combination of both together. So if you're going to go more, basically more than 1,000 milligram combination of EPA DHA, that's good, and that's going to be another indicator. So what's going on and why they're going to actually what happened during the condensation or concentration of EPA DHA basically. So this is the structure of the triglyceride that you might have heard about it. This is the same TG that you measure in your blood, and for fish oil, uh, in order to increase, for example, if you can assume that the green one is EPA, the purple one is DHA, in order to increase the concentration of them, they have to actually remove them from the glycerol as a backbone. Once they get to the free fatty acid, they have to further actually react it with ethanol. That's why they call it ethyl ester EPA, ethyl ester DHA. So what happened during that process? So the natural structure of the oil is gonna be ruined. The natural balance of fatty acid would be gone. A lot of co-nutrients after refining is gonna actually further reduced. The bioavailability of these as compared to the natural TG are gonna significantly drop, and also the oxidative stability is gonna reduce. So now you ask yourself that what is the point of that? Just for making the EPA DHA level higher, and they try to actually advertise that it's going to be better. But we know that at the same time, you're going to ruin all these actually features and at the same time get rid of the naturally carrying nutrients. And then they found that, oh, the TG has more bioavailability, but they actually esterified or reacted again with the glycerol to make a triglyceride. Since that triglyceride is not natural triglyceride, they call it re-esterified triglyceride just to increase that. So I don't want to go through the details of that, but each one of these basically process is going to further remove whatever is left over in terms of the natural nutrient in the oil. So what we have in the market that is under discount today, 30% discount, is really unique. So I didn't have chance to talk about the krill oil. So another animal source of omega-3 is krill oil, and krill oil has a better actually features because they don't go through the concentration process, and also they have naturally occurring nutrient like polar lipid that scientific literature shows that polar lipid is going to impact on the increasing bioavailability of the EPA DHA. And um, our oil is from algae, and algae that might be interesting for you to hear that algae is the main and original source of EPA DHA. So fish doesn't have that capability to make that EPA DHA. They get their EPA DHA or long chain omega-3 fatty acid by eating microalgae. Now, the point is that why not get in directly the EPA DHA from algae? So that's one concept. The other concept is that majority of algae-based oil that we have in the US market, they don't have basically naturally occurring nutrient in there, and they are highly refined. And one of the main indicators is they are shiny and transparent. But our oil has high amount of polar lipids and also is partially refined. So let me explain better. So this is the transparent and minimal process that we have for the oil. As you see here, the DHA source of our oil is coming from a specific species of algae. And then after doing water extraction, we do refining and deodorization and adding antioxidant and get that transparent. So this part is going to be similar with other algae source that we have in the market. We're going to be transparent and nothing kind of special in terms of our DHA source. But the uniqueness of our product is based on actually the source of EPA that we have. As you see here, um, after getting the algae and then ethanol extraction, what we're gonna get is gonna be a super high viscous, basically material, and this is exactly the viscosity of the material. It is super dark, is high viscous, showing that it has a lot of naturally occurring nutrient. And then when we mix them together, uh, that's going to be the high viscous material that we put it into the capsule. And take a look at the color and the darkness of that as compared to the clear one that you can see everywhere for other source of omega-3. And this is going to be one of the indicator for us. And like the other two products, we do have criteria that people are looking for when they're going to buy. And this is the appearance of the capsule, the oil. As you see, the krill oil has different appearance and it's kind of darker red color because krill oil has polar lipid and astaxanthin and natural pigments. And our oil, as you see, not only check all the criteria, but also is super dark and containing high amount of polar lipid. And this is how it looks. As I mentioned, this is going to be transparent, clear, and the capsule and soft gel is going to be like that for majority of the brands. But for us, this is literally the viscosity of the finished product that we put in the capsule. And also, this is how it's going to look like. And we do have in the product, in the bottle. So it seems that this is the last slide from us. And let me enlarge my size. Okay, great. So let me know if you have any question. Let's see if I go there. I'm gonna wait a little bit here to just make sure that if there is any question. Awesome. So I really appreciate that. And if you have any, let's see here. If you have any question in future regarding different types of dietary supplement, not limited to vitamin D, C, and omega-3, any type. If you have any question, how you're going to identify minimally processed or possibly whole food version of vitamins, let me know. You can find us in our YouTube channel and anywhere else to make sure that we can get enough information for choosing the best product in the US market. And that's all. Thank you so much.